Dean Martin Celebrity Roast, coming to you from the MGM Grand Hotel in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Ladies and gentlemen, from the beautiful Ziegfeld Room, tonight's star-studded roast has brought together some of the world's greatest entertainers. They've come from all over the world to be here tonight, here in Las Vegas, in person.
Your roastmaster, Dean Martin. And tonight's very special Man of the Week, Ralph Nader.
Thank you, and I better drink this before Ralph Nader recalls it. We're gathered here tonight. I sound like Jessel. We're gathered here tonight to honor a man who pioneered safety precautions for the consumer. Ralph's motto has always been, better safe than sorry, which explains why I saw him coming out of a drugstore this morning blushing. He's the man we can thank for all the safety devices in cars. Even as a child, he was a safety nut. When he was 10 months old, he insisted on being potty trained with a seat belt. Safety features in cars are important. I even have an emergency belt in my car. I keep a pint in my glove compartment. And thanks to Mr. Nader, next year's cars are going to have another safety feature. All the St. Christopher statues will be wearing crash helmets. Pollution doesn't bother me. I've been polluted for years, so... And that's another thing. Ralph Nader doesn't touch liquor. He only drinks milk. He believes milk can do wonders for you. He's right. Look what it did for Nixon. Now, I'd like you to meet Mr. Jack Klugman, co-star of The Odd Couple. Jack got some real good news today. ABC tore up his old contract, and now he's the only one on that network with a torn contract. Ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful guy and a very fine talent, Mr. Jack Klugman.
Look at this man. What an honest face. He's the only man in America I would buy a used car from. Let's see now, what is it? Maybe a couple of things I can say about him. Well, for instance, he is dull. I'm sorry, he is dull. But it's not a crime to be dull. I mean, how many fun guys are there? You can count on your finger the funny guys. There's Alan Ludden, Jack Palance, Lauren Green. That's it, and you're right, you know. And also, one other thing, you cannot have fun Christmas shopping with this guy. He spends all his time in the complaint department. And also, let's see, one other thing, he's very suspicious, he's wary. Right now, on this dais, he's the only guy who's wearing a seatbelt. And he's a bachelor, right? Lucky guy. But that's because every time he gets serious about a girl, he has her mother recall her and correct her defects. The truth is, though, that as everyone knows, Ralph Nader has been a bastion against unsafe automobiles. How often automobile executives have said, throw that here. But he has my respect, and I hope he has yours.
You all know our next guest. She's actress Jane Withers, the star of hundreds of Hollywood movies, and now famous as TV's Josephine the Plumber. And she's the only plumber I know that's not employed by Nixon. Ladies and gentlemen, the only actress who can boast that her career went down the drain, Miss Jane Withers.
I was so thrilled. Hello, Mr. Nader. I'm so glad to meet you. Really. Honest, I was so thrilled when they asked me to come here. You know, I had no idea it was going to be such a really swell affair. Otherwise, I'd have worn my formal coveralls. You know, well, you know, the ones with the plunger neckline. But Mr. Nader, honestly, really and truly, I can truly appreciate the kind of letters and mail that you must receive, because I don't know if they're anything at all like the complaints that I get from some of these marvelous housewives and these dear little ladies that they really think I'm a plumber, you know? And, well, I want you to try some of these that I brought tonight on your radios, okay? Now, here's one. Dear Josephine, how do I turn off that drip that drives me crazy all night? So I answered her, go to bed with a mud pack. Here's another one. Dear Josephine, how can I get my child to stop dropping his marbles down the kitchen sink? So I wrote back, tell him very nicely that if he continues to do that, the tooth fairy will come and give him a fat lip. This one I really love. Dear Josephine, I just love this lady. I am planning a large family gathering. Could you please tell me how to fix a 20-pound turkey? I said, sure. Next time, why don't you buy one that isn't broken?
And now, Ralph, I have a little surprise for you. We've flown in a gentleman who knows you better than anyone else in the whole world because he's been in your personal employ for the past 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Felipe Martinez.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dean. It's a great pleasure to be on your show. I got a lot of respect for anybody make $1 million a week in a coma. I have been a houseboy for Mr. Ralph for the last 10 years. I'm so happy to be on the show because this is my first night off. You know, without me, he would not be where he is today, alive. You don't know what I'm talking about. I tell you why. You know, he tests a lot of things. I'm the tester. You know how he found out the electric carving knife was no good? This way. This was from the electric pencil sharpener. The head was my own fault, man. He told me 1,000,000 times, put the crash helmet on when you pull the chain in the bathroom. Well, good night, Mr. Ralph. I gotta go out now and buy myself some false teeth. Tomorrow we taste the electric toothbrush. Good night.
Steve Lansburg, a fine young comedian. Now we come to Mr. Mort Saul, a man who is best known for his attacks on social injustices. Mr. Mort Saul.
Thank you, Dean. The man we're here to honor tonight was born in Westport, Connecticut. He's the first baby in history who was slapped into life by the doctor, which is normal medical form, and immediately slapped the doctor back, as I recall. Why did Ralph Nader become involved in public life? Well, as you know, he lives a Spartan life himself. He has a gray suit, and he has a blue suit. That's it. He lives on $100 a week gross. Lives in a rooming house in Washington, D.C. Has a phone in the hall, towel at the end of the hall. Personally grateful to Ralph, because before he came here, it was a terrible country. We were drinking, cussing. We resembled a western frontier town with all the attendant vices. And then he taught us to put on our seat belts, even when we're at home. And he taught us that the milk in Duluth, Minnesota has water in it, He warned us against aging. He's trying to pass a law against it now. He told us there was air in our hot dogs. He told us there was mercury in our tuna fish. He told us there were rats in our meat packing plants. He wants to repave Lake Erie. If it weren't for Ralph Nader, the Watergate Hotel would not be equipped with a fire escape. Ralph's latest victory was over Allegheny Airlines when his reservation was bumped at the Pittsburgh airport, for which the court awarded him $50,000. I've been at that airport myself often sit up in the bar. I like to sit upstairs there, have a couple of drinks, you know, watch my plane take off. Anyway, Ralph, we have something for everybody tonight. Anyway, Ralph, I've reached the nadir of my speech. Keep up the fight. Thank you very much. Thanks for
Ladies and gentlemen, talented Miss Donna Fargo.
Thank you, Dean. Everybody knows Ralph Nader as a dedicated and crusading investigator. But what's he like on a date? I'm one girl who knows. I went to dinner once with Ralph. Let me tell you, it was an experience. But I must say, he was considerate. He let me choose the restaurant we'd investigate. We ended up at McDonald's, test weighing the half-pounder. The girl that brought us our order told us that it was her 19th birthday. Guess what Ralph said? Gee, for such low mileage, that body's really been abused. Over our French fries, though, I took Ralph's hand and stared into his big brown eyes and said, which one of my defects really turned you on, honey? But you know, I don't think he heard me. He was staring into my Big Mac looking for a faulty pickle.
See, she talks like I do. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, as you know, our man of the week, Ralph Nader, has been very critical of the present administration, but in line with federal broadcast standards, we must grant equal time to those with opposing views. Even though it's only me, even though... So, ladies and gentlemen, see, everybody would say gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, straight from Washington, D.C., where he canceled an appearance to be here, and before the Senate Investigating Committee, one of America's great stand-up storytellers, Richard the First.
Don't try to make up to me. I heard you all outside my house honking your horns for impeachment. Well, let me say this about that. Something's going to be done about all you people. And let me say this about you, Mr. Nader. You're doing a rotten job for the consumer. I bought a tape recorder and you approved it.